What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the Irrelevant E Show, where we talk about everything and nothing. Thank you for joining. If you're here, if you're not, you should get here. Um, yep. Thanks for, like I said, thanks for joining. Welcome to 2020. We only have 106 days left of this shitty year. That's exciting. But hey, we're making it, right? I think. I'm not seeing a lot of chat, so we might not be. It's not good. Hello, Priscilla. Hello from the living room. I am your host, Eric, Irrelevant E. That's what the E stands for. I'm happy to be here, and this is becoming a weekly thing where we're just going to stream, talk about everything and nothing. We got a couple things to talk about today. I'm excited about that. If you haven't heard yet, I dropped my podcast episode, and it's the first one. I was talking to a buddy of mine. His name is DJ, longtime fan of the Irrelevant Bros, and we had a good time. So if you haven't check it out now. Well, not now because the show's now, but check it out at some time. I'm streaming on all major platforms, Apple, iTunes. Wait, that's the same thing. Spotify, Google, you name it. And yeah, we had a good time just talking about Marvel, DC, the normal stuff, some sports. I'm not a sports guy, but Yo, hello, Stina Emery. Is this from Mexico? Hello, Casey Denton. Oh man, we've got a special guest tonight. That's going to be later on in the show. But yeah, it's been a crazy year, and with crazy years come crazy things, crazy events. 2020 has just been weird. It's felt like one big TikTok because I don't really understand TikTok. That's for the young bucks, and I'm not a young buck. I actually just turned 31 the other day. So it was pretty weird. Oh, live from Mexi. Man, I'm jealous. I hope you're enjoying it there. Yeah. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, so podcast episode just dropped. That's great. I'm going to be doing some music reviews on YouTube. So if you haven't done that yet, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Irrelevant E. Search for it. I'll be there. Hello, Daniel Emery. Everybody's making their way in. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to be streaming some things weekly. Come chat with us. And by us, I mean me. Maybe sometimes I'm going to have guests. It's going to be a good time. But like I said, with the crazy events that are going on, I don't know if you've heard about this recently. Chris Evans had his weenie leak on the internet. That's a really weird way of putting that. Chris Evans had a nude leak. And I got to say, I haven't looked at it yet, but I can only assume that it's probably blue, red, and white. Captain America's wiener, If it's America's ass, it's America's wiener. So that's exciting, I guess. Actually, I feel really bad for the dude because I think he's got some anxiety, but he's been a real good sport about it. That's one of his tweets that he somewhat talked about it and kind of alluded to it, but without actually doing so. It really weird because there was a lot of support, and I think that's a great thing. A lot of support in his favor, but it was really kind of odd because that is not what happened with the whole, God, I hate this term, but the fappening where the massive leak of nude photos from almost every celebrity on the planet. Yeah, females didn't really get that support, and I think that was kind of wrong. But there was a lot of support for Chris Evans, so it is what it is. Yet. You laugh out loud yet. I don't know if I'm actually going to go look for it, but I don't know why I said yet either. Yeah, so that's the story there. Chris Evans had a nude leak. I like I said, I feel really bad because during the time J-Law's stuff came out and every other girl on the planet, really, it was a massive, I don't know if anybody remembers that. It was a massive leak of tons of celebrities, but I know Jennifer Lawrence was at the front of it because I guess she drew the most controversy. But yeah, not a lot of support. They were like, well, you shouldn't have nude photos. And that's bullshit. It's your private phone. You don't expect things to happen that way. And in Chris Evans' case, he actually shared it on his Instagram story, I think is what it was. But yeah, there's the story there. Not much more wiener talk. Feels weird. I have an ongoing debate about something that I really want to bring up, and I think I'm gonna do it because it bugs me. It keeps me up at night, and I just want to know, like, is this a donut? Could it fit through a bagel? Oh my god, Chris Evans, could it fit through a bagel? Anyways, is this a donut? I want to know. I don't think this is a donut because to me this looks like a cinnamon roll. But I have a friend out there who thinks this is a donut. So please, in the comment section, tell me, donut or no donut? Oh, okay. To be fair, this friend and I have this ongoing, like, at this point it's like a joke. Um, that's not even the right kind. Okay, I knew he was gonna say that. It, my friend has said that like donut shop cinnamon rolls are considered donuts. And I give him a hard time because I still don't consider that a donut. If it's called a cinnamon roll, I would call it a cinnamon roll. It's a baked good at this point. But to be fair, I'm going to show the picture of what he's talking about if you don't already know. Like everybody has walked into a donut shop, and this is where's this thing right here, that's what he's talking about. And I didn't want to do it because I feel like it's going to sway people's opinions, whether it's a donut or not. But is this a donut? Corey says the other kind is. Well, I'm not sold that it's a donut. So is a cinnamon twist a donut? No, it's a cinnamon twist. It's not a donut. It's a baked good. It's a baked good. What kind of monster are you? I guess yogurt's ice cream. That's the route we're going. It's rolled, therefore it's not. It's a roll, not a donut. Ooh, that's a good point because the donut's got like a hole in it. Yep. Nope. I'm sold on that logic. Actually, still not a still not a donut. Oh man, yeah. I don't think you're gonna win this one. Because I'm the guy with the mic. Anyways, if you haven't guessed yet, the guy I'm talking about is gonna be the guy who's on the show here in a little bit. It's topped with the same glaze as a donut, and the kind we're talking about is fried. Educate yourself. Whether it's fried or not, it's still not a donut. There's no hole in the middle of it. If you take that and then you take out the best part of the cinnamon roll is the center, but if you take that out, then maybe it's a donut. Maybe. It's still not a donut. We went on a lot about donuts just now. Either way, I still don't know what the verdict is on it, and I'm not sure this is ever going to get solved, and that's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, so that's ongoing, but drinking a beer right now. I don't know if you can see this. Oh, that didn't come out good in the green screen because it's a green can. Martin House key lime pie. Man, it's fantastic. It's like it's a key lime pie beer. It's got graham cracker taste. It's made of like limes. It's just so good. If you haven't checked out Martin House yet, you've probably been living under a rock because that's like the best brewery in Texas. If you have suggestions for breweries and beers, I'm all ears because like I would love to I just love drinking craft beers. You should know this about me by now. Super good though. Yeah, back to the thing with like TikTok kids. Is anybody on TikTok? Because I'm like I look at it. I don't do TikToks. It's never fascinated me. I guess I'm just like part of the older generation that doesn't adapt to certain things and never thought I'd actually say that. But like TikTok never captured me. And so if like you're a millennial or older, I think TikTok's probably a Generation Z thing because I don't see many boomers or like millennials on TikTok. But if like that's your thing, I want to know because it's not mine. But if you're out there doing it, let me know because this is some scientific shit. But yeah, no, it's definitely a Generation Z thing, which I gotta say, like Generation Z is probably the best generation in my opinion. Like I know I come from millennials, but I don't think I fit in with millennials, and that's cool. It is what it is. Um, yeah, Gen Z just like I don't think they give a shit, and I really like that about them because millennials have always been like seeking the approval of boomers, and boomers have always been shitting on millennials. It's like a really toxic relationship and quite odd, but um, Generation Z they don't care, and like they'll insult you in ways that you have no clue that they're insulting you, and I think it's great because like you could say something about like Generation Z and they'll just like start doing a dance and they're like doing the floss or whatever, and it creeps me out, but then they all laugh at you and you're like, what was that about? And then you just feel bad about yourself. It's pretty weird. I like them though. I don't get them. I like them. Big TikTok fan over here. Are you, so you like, do you partake in TikTok? Like, are you making TikToks or are you just watching them? Cause like, I'm just like a watcher. I'm not actually actively participating in the like culture of TikTok. Thoughts on Simp September started by Gen Z. I know the term simp. I don't know that. Oh, I didn't know there was a Simp September. Like that sounds very rude. What does it mean? What does it all mean? That's the thing. Generation Z, they don't. I don't get them. I don't, but I like them. It's no one knows what it means. It's provocative. Yeah, I've never understood the actual like millennial versus boomer thing either, because it's just like they shit on us a lot, and I'm kind of like that's cool, but you guys raised us, you know that, right? And like we're just kind of a product of our environment, and you are technically our environment. You are the ones leading us. I don't get it. I don't understand why they do that. I don't understand their music. Honeydew TikToks to come. Oh yes, I'm pumped about that. Um, that being said, if you haven't heard me say it, then go check out some of our other podcasts. We're part of the Irrelevant Network. We've got multiple shows. The Irrelevant Bros, my boys from the Bounce Pass podcast, Certified Big Boys Club. They're fantastic sports podcasts and like super enjoyable to listen to. And then there's Honeydew Podcast, which is a young and in love couple that are right now vacationing in Mexico and joined us on the live stream, and we appreciate that greatly. If you haven't checked out their show, it's fantastic to listen to. I didn't know I was going to be such a big fan of it, but like it's so relatable, especially if you're like a married couple. That's the thing. It's fantastic. Go check it out. Subscribe to those. Yeah, you won't be disappointed. So yeah, that's that in a nutshell. Boomers and millennials, I guess that's what I've got to talk about. It's been bothering me lately. And like why there's this weird obsession with Joe Rogan hosting a debate for the election. I don't know. I really don't get it. 2020 has gotten weird and it's taken a weird turn, and I'm not sure that I like it. It's kind of like a bad movie. You didn't like it from the beginning, then you're like, "Oh, this may not be so bad." And then it got worse. It's not good. Um I'm having some troubles too cuz like iPhone just updated to like OS 14 and I don't understand that either. It's rough. It's rough out here for a millennial. Either way, I'm going to bring on a special guest. His name is Casey Denton, and he is Mr. Fantasy Football himself. He's going to be joining me on my podcast every now and again, and he's going to be bringing you all the sweetest fantasy football tips because it's one of the greatest times of the year. I'll just let him introduce himself. Casey Denton, you are on, sir.
You hear me?
We can hear you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, man, this has been a long time coming, it feels like.
I know, dude. I know. I like the Kansas City shirt.
Oh, thanks, man.
When did you
I
become
had to represent one of the two teams that I like the most.
Fair enough. Are
It's
you
a Cowboy shirt, so we went ahead with the KC.
Ooh, good choice because you know I'm
Yeah,
anti-Cowboys, right?
you're not a Cowboys fan.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Are you so are like who's your team?
Uh, both Dallas and Kansas City. I have four teams that I watch most of their games, but those are the two that I watch the most of, I guess.
Okay, so you're not like loyal to one team or the other. So if it's the Cowboys and the Chiefs, you're not like go Chiefs.
Right? Yeah. In that case, I would just hope for like a good football game. You know?
Fair enough. You're like, who's making food and what are we bringing? It's gonna be a
I
good
know,
game.
man. Yeah. Uh, it was Dallas singularly until Mahomes went from Tech to Kansas City. Then I kind of started paying more attention to them.
Fair enough.
But, you know,
Cool. So what do you got for
yeah.
us today?
So football is here. We've made it. It's been a long wait. And I don't know about you, but it felt longer because of COVID and, quarantining and all that.
Did you think it was gonna happen?
Man, I was crossing my fingers. I didn't know there for a little bit, but it's here, and week one has come and gone.
Yep.
So now we're on to week two. Did you watch any week one games or?
I watched a few. I watched a little bit of the Kansas City game. I happened to be working most of the days that football was on, but such is life.
Yeah.
Life of the rotating schedule.
Oh, and I do have a bone to pick with you, by the way.
What's your bone?
On your previous podcast, you had said that I hated you for auto drafting, and that's
Oh yeah,
semi
it's quite true.
true. No, I said it's semi true.
Okay, what's wrong with
See,
the
'cause,
auto draft?
man, I just come from the opposite spectrum of that, I guess, because I spent so much time leading up to all the drafts, researching and doing mock drafts and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So the opposite end of that is auto drafting, and it feels like a sin to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get it. It is. It does. I think most people kind of agree with that. In fact, the guy I was talking to on that podcast even said, "You're like the worst kind of person." I'm aware. In fact,
But the
most of
funny
my
thing is, you pull out wins.
I know. It's a strategy. People don't understand, man. It's always one on the waivers. It's always one on the waivers. And in fact,
Yeah.
I messed up. I should have lost in both leagues. That's my fantasy football tip. Lose your first couple of weeks.
So you can win on the waivers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get a tier one, like, eventually, someone's gonna get hurt.
Yep. Well, so I guess I have a whole list of things, but I have two things that I kind of wanted to bring up. Um, today's Wednesday, so waivers have already ran.
Yep.
But hopefully you got either Malcolm Brown or Hines. Those are the two hottest pickups for the week.
Word.
Uh, Especially with Marlon Mack, his injury.
Yeah.
Hines is going to get we'll backtrack a little bit. Jonathan Taylor is going to get a whole lot more work. So if you already had him, congratulations. But
I did
Hines
not.
should keep up either with the goal work or, in receptions. So
Right on. So those are your two. Like, if you could have
those are my
snagged
two.
those.
Yeah. So hopefully you got one of those two guys. And then the other kind of thing that I wanted to bring up was just advice for week one is just to not overreact to week one things that have happened.
What do
So,
you? Who do you think's
for
like
example,
overreacting?
well, so if you had players do really bad that should have done well, or if you had players that you were on the fence about that did really well that maybe they can't keep that up,
Mm-hmm.
those are things to keep your cool about.
So
So a
I've
few
got.
people that I had in mind on that are it was going to be Michael Thomas, but his injury they're saying is more severe than originally thought.
So you
He had
think
a
you
high
should be
ankle
worried
sprain.
about that?
Yeah, I mean he's going to be either out or he's going to play through it and his production is going to go down. So originally that was something to not overreact about, but now that's a big deal.
We're reacting.
Yeah, especially since that's your number one pick probably if you're in a regular league.
Yep.
You know. Um, a couple other names to mention is Aaron Rodgers.
What's up with
You
that?
know, he had a great game week 1, but this past draft, the Green Bay Packers drafted another quarterback, so that either lit a fire under his butt, and maybe he's on a little bit of a revenge tour. But just because he had a great week 1 doesn't mean that he can continue that all season.
I kind of feel like Aaron Rodgers got shafted. I think he's a productive quarterback with a lot of time left.
Yeah, it could go either way. I just don't know if he can keep that up all season. He definitely
We'll
he definitely
see.
wanted to come out and show that he still has it.
I think he's
But
showing it. I think he is.
huh?
I said I think he's showing it.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
you're
we'll
not wrong.
see.
You're not wrong. A couple other names would be Nick Chubb.
Yep.
Cleveland faced Baltimore in week 1, and that's a stout run defense. So, even though he didn't get many fantasy points, that's not anything to worry about.
Right on.
Now, if you're on the other end of this, like the story I just told you, uh, you can find people that own these players, and you can go out and you can make a semi ridiculous trade offer for them, and you might just end up getting them.
Okay.
So, for example, the story that I told you before this, I got Malcolm Brown off the waivers, and then
Yes.
I offered him to the Nick Chubb owner for Nick Chubb, and then got that.
I think that's I think you definitely came out on top there.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
definitely an overreaction.
Yeah. So, if you're the moral of the story is if you own those players, don't overreact. It's 1 week, you need a
So
couple of weeks to see a trend or a pattern.
so
Um,
judging by your behavior, you're a no friends in fantasy football kind of guy, huh?
I have one person in one league that I'm kind of taking care of in a sense. And my dad is playing his very first fantasy football season in the league that I have.
Yep. Which I'm a
And
part of.
so, yeah, so I'm kind of trying to guide him along and not take advantage of any situation that he's in.
Yep.
But outside of that, everything's free game.
Okay. Fair enough. So family's off limits. Hold on.
Just this season.
I gotta add something real quick just to sort this out. I think you're gonna like this. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no.
We're gonna do the rest of the show with that up there.
Perfect. Well, I guess you know my feelings on that.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
That's why I brought it up. I mean, if you're gonna be on the show, expect a little salt,
Yeah. That's fair enough.
And don't come
That's
at me with
that's my one most controversial belief, I guess.
So
That black over.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Like let's look at wide receivers like Antonio Brown and Odell. Are you saying don't overreact with them as well?
With Odell, I think that this game, week 2 against Cincinnati, he should either get on track or you'll kind of know where you stand with him. So for him in particular, this is the game that will make or break Odell for me.
Right on.
I currently don't own any shares of Odell, but if I did and he did not perform this week, he would be sitting on the bench, or I would be just filling out what kind of trades I could get for him.
Okay. I got you. Yeah, so the boys from the Balance Pass podcast have made mention that Odell Beckham Jr., a lot of hype around him, a lot of hype around the Browns and Mayfield himself. And the one thing they said is that it's still the fucking Browns. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
I mean,
that's absolutely right. The Browns are doing Browns things.
yeah. Yeah, which is like I said, that's go listen to the Bounce Pass podcast. They are very in depth with their sports, and they had a message from the Savior himself. Anyways, like I said, really good podcast. Go check it out. What else you got for us, Casey?
Man, I got a few more things. How much time we got?
We got all night, man.
Oh, okay. Well, I had this section that I liked. That's things that I liked from the week, and then things that I hated.
Let me hear him. Let's start with the like.
The likes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, it's the same situation for both people, kind of. But I really liked seeing Big Ben back, and I really liked seeing Cam Newton come back.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
You
Like,
know, they
dude,
both had pretty good showings. Cam was running a lot, and that was really cool. And Big Ben, they kind of got off to a rusty start, but they got more in sync as the game went along. Um, but I really like a comeback story, you know. So him coming back from injury, and same with Cam. I'm kind of rooting for him, even though they're not on my teams or,
yeah, I get
they're
that.
on my team.
I'm honestly really impressed by Ben. Like, he's just old as hell, and like, he just doesn't care. I mean, I don't really know what to say about him. I feel like
Yeah,
he's,
he even said that he didn't really need to come back from retirement or that injury because he didn't have anything else left to prove.
yeah,
But he
really,
just did it for like Juju and the rest of the team.
exactly. And Cam Newton, yeah, I really don't know how to feel about Cam. Actually, I mean, he dresses really well.
Man, he's iconic.
He's got some threads for
That
sure.
banana suit.
The iconic banana suit.
Um, and then opposite that, things that I hated for the week. Uh, I hate injuries just because, from a fantasy standpoint, obviously Michael Thomas was, someone's first round pick, so I hate that for them, and I
Yeah.
hate it for the player. Um, Blake Jarwin, who is the tight end for Dallas, he got injured sometime during that game, and I had him in several leagues, so I don't get to see what he does at all.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Uh, let's see who else. James Conner got injured,
Yeah.
but if you picked up Connor and you didn't pick up Benny Snell, then I feel like that's kind of your fault.
That's fair.
Because Connor is super prone to injury, so
Yeah.
you kind of knew that one was coming. Maybe not as quick as the first quarter or whatever it happened.
Right. I mean, injuries are just part of it. Like, you know, I've had plenty of years where like injuries just plagued my entire team, and I was like, you know what? I give up. Just gonna start
Yeah,
trading my good players for like, you know,
yeah. If it happens to multiple players, it's no good the rest of the season.
yeah. I really either like love fantasy football or absolutely hate it. And it seems like the years that I put the most work into my fantasy team are like the worst years I've ever had. And the years where I'm like, I'll auto draft are the years that I'm like, hey, I just won.
Yeah, because you nearly get too involved with it.
Exactly. But I mean, it is what it is, and it's a great time. It's a great time.
Yeah.
It's
See,
always
I'm in 4 leagues this year,
holy
so
crap.
instead of just stressing out about one, I feel like if I spread it out a little bit more, I'm less stressed.
That's fair. That's fair.
But you can nearly make the same moves in all of them if you drafted similar.
Yeah, not when you auto draft. You can't make those moves.
Oh no. Let's see what else. Are you excited to watch any of the games this coming week?
Um, not really. I mean, I'm not gonna say not really. Like, I just don't know where I stand with everything right now. I'm not. I'm the man with no team. Like I said, I watch football because of fantasy football. You know, and I like just to talk crap to my friends, especially when I win. That's my favorite thing to do. Um,
That one league that we're in that's been running for like what 5 or 6 years.
dude, it's
That's one
been
of my favorites.
I love it. I did have a fire game this year though,
Yeah,
thanks to Odell.
you should let everybody know.
If you listen to the podcast, then you would know the team name. But the story behind it is that Odell Beckham Jr. did he admit it or is it just rumor? I think it's just rumor. He's
he had an ex or something like that that was
Yeah,
on a
that's right.
podcast, and I guess she allegedly said that.
Yeah, so apparently he likes to perform the Cleveland Steamer. Um, a brief synopsis of what that is. What's up, Graham? uh, you poo on the chest and sit and rock back and forth. It's a sexual fetish.
Wait, what's the rocking back and forth thing?
The steamer part.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
like a steamroller.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyways, when that came out, I have OBJ on my team, and my team quickly became Beckham's Booty Bombers. So not,
So great.
not proud of it. I am proud of it.
I like that.
Beckham's Booty Bombers. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm here for the names, man.
Yeah, man.
No, I'm honestly just really excited to see the Chiefs perform. I know Patrick Mahomes being like, one of the highest paid quarterback, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just excited to see a Lubbock kid out there doing his thing and doing it well.
Awesome. Hey, what did you think on the unity or moment of unity deal before that game?
Oof. So I mentioned that in the podcast episode, and it was one of those things that I didn't love. Not like I didn't love that they did it. I didn't love the reaction from the fans.
I know. I can't believe the way that went.
I can.
Actually, I can believe it, but I'm still disappointed.
It's just one of those things where you're like, I knew like it's not about the flag, it's not about the anthem, it's not about any of that shit.
There's never been a more clear moment that was never about the flag than those boos.
Exactly. Yeah, like if you're not impeding on something that you call tradition, if you're not impeding on something that is, sacred to you, then it shouldn't be an issue. I mean, by their words, not mine.
Right.
That was the big issue. Is like, I can't believe they're doing it during the national anthem. I can't believe, like, okay, then we won't do it during the national anthem. And so the reaction to that, it's, what it's about now.
Yeah, I don't think people are going to be happy with anything that they do, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, politics and everything.
If they're going to boo that, I mean, there's no making them happy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's become so polarized that it's not. I don't know if you can really go up from there, I guess.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Well, I love that they did it. Disappointed in the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you, man. I love that they did it. I love that they did it and they got the reaction they did so people will know, oh, shit, that's not what it's about.
That's true. Yeah, that's very revealing.
Yeah, so it's like that argument goes out the window. Next. Let's get to the problem. And so that's where I'm at with it.
I'm with you, buddy.
Well, man, what else you got? You got anything else you want to add in?
No, that about covers it, man.
Sweet. I guess we'll see you for another fantasy football
date, advice, tips, whatever.
Yeah, whatever we're gonna call this.
Whatever's relevant. How about that?
Oh my god. The show's irrelevant.
Whatever's irrelevant.
There you go. It's all irrelevant. But yeah, man, thanks for joining me on the show. I really appreciate it. The man with the insights of fantasy football.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime. Well, most of the streams, whenever you got good advice, we're gonna drop it.
Boom.
So, again, thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. It's been fun. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. Well, there you have it from Mr. Fantasy Football himself. I think he dropped some good advice. Hopefully it helps your team if you're into that sort of thing. And if you're not, well, then that was a long bit. And yeah, I'm going to head out of here. And this shit right here is not a donut. But again, thanks for joining me. We'll be here every week. Be sure to listen to the podcast. Some fun stuff there. Like I said, listen to my homies on the Irrelevant Network, Honeydew, Bounce Pass podcast, all really great stuff. And like I said, thanks again for joining me. It's a pleasure to have you here, and I just appreciate that you're here to join me in this moment of magic, and I love you all. So yeah, have a good one.